Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Thursday, February 15th, and we are here answering your financial questions. If you've got one, all you need to do is go to our website, jillonmoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. Complete the form, and of course, once you do that, we can receive it as an email. If you'd like to join us on the air live, check the box. If you want to join us via video and participate in the brand new YouTube show, Jill on Money, powered by The Compound, check that box. 2 separate boxes. Maybe you would do either. We would love to have you join us because when you come on live, it allows us to ask a lot of nosy questions and follow-up questions. And I think it does make it a lot better for everyone. Maybe you'll get a little more focused in what you want. We can get a little more focused in helping you along and trying to get you there. All that said, whatever is right for you, we're happy to have you. While you're on the website, don't forget you can sign up for our free weekly newsletter. Comes out every single Friday. And of course, you can check out all the other free content. There's the blog, there's other shows, there's videos, there's the resources section. And if you've got a few bucks to spare, yes, you can join our subscription service, Jill on Money Live. That's for $35. You have access to quarterly live webinars and more bonus content. Our next webinar in March, Cal Newport. I love this guy. Go to the website. You can read up on him. He's really fantastic. Okay, so for today's show, we are joined by Linda, who's on the line from Connecticut.
So I'm just a few years out from retirement, or starting to think about retirement. And I'm making the most that I've been making ever in my career. And
Congratulations.
Yeah, I still seem to be struggling though. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm on the right track with my current plan to be able to, retire sometime between 62 and 65.
How old are you today, Linda?
I'll be 56 this year.
Okay. And how much do you earn?
About 127 plus a bonus between 5 and 7%.
Is that bonus consistent?
Yes.
Okay. And are you single or are you partnered, married?
I am single.
Okay. Had to think about that, didn't you?
Well, I was going to say divorced, but yeah.
Yeah, we can say single. It's fine.
Yeah.
Kids?
3 kids.
Uh-huh. How old are they?
They are 24.
You have triplets?
I do.
Stop it.
Yes.
I need to know more. Wait a minute. First of all, I am married to an identical twin, so I'm so into the multiple birth thing. Are they all 3 fraternal?
Yes.
Or are there any? Yes. Okay. I cannot even believe it. Oh, God. What was the hardest year of being a parent with triplets?
Definitely the first year.
There's no way to do it.
No.
You're in a 2-3 zone. They've got 3. You only have 2 of you.
Exactly.
It's horrible.
Yep.
I can't even imagine. I hope you had help. Did you have parents who helped?
Yeah. So my mom actually would live with us for the first 3 months. And then I was pretty much on my own. Well, we were on our own.
Okay. Wow. And are they launched? Are they good?
So one, it had just moved out this year, living with his girlfriend. He's good. He's a nurse. His girlfriend's a nurse, so they're good. I have one who works for the railroad, and he's doing great as well. The other 2 are home, so the other 2 are still home.
Okay. And home is your home, and do you own that home or are you renting?
I do own the home.
How much is it worth?
Currently about $675.
And is there still a mortgage outstanding?
I do. I have $234,000 left on the original mortgage. Unfortunately, it's an adjustable. Right now, it's at 2.875. I have about 4 years left on that.
Oh, interesting. And what's the game plan? Do you want to stay in the house?
No, we actually were looking to potentially sell this year, but with the current state of the market, anything that I would gain from this sale, I would have to put into something else. And the interest rates are so high that I decided that it wasn't the great timing.
Okay. So you're waiting, but your hope is that before this thing adjusts, you'll be out.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
And I also have, I also have a home equity loan with about $57,000 on that at 6.25%.
All right. Well, already I feel like I understand what some of the pressure is on your cash flow. For the kids who are home, do they contribute to the household expenses?
They do. So I have an in-law apartment that I used for my parents who are no longer living there. But so one of them is living there
below market rent.
Yeah, just helping out with the expenses. And the
good.
one that's living in the main house with me is also paying a little bit to go towards the expenses.
Okay, great. Now, Linda, on your $127,000 base, not including the bonus, but are you making retirement contributions?
Yes, up until this year, I was contributing 12% pre-tax, and then another 6% to a Roth 401.
And what happened this year?
I really started to feel the crunch of that. I had been increasing and increasing, and I just started to feel the crunch of my cash flow was really tight. So I have a little bit of outstanding credit card debt that I wanted to clean up. So I stopped contributing this year to concentrate on paying that off.
And have you paid it off?
Not yet, but I'm on track to probably by the end of March.
Do you still put in enough money to capture any match from your employer?
So my employer matches 3% up to up to the 6%, or 50% up to the 6% that I put in. But I also get, they also contribute they call it a non-contribution of another 6%. So no matter what I do, they contribute. So I could potentially get 9%.
And are you putting in 6% to capture the match?
No, currently I'm only getting that 6%.
Do you have any money in cash right now?
I have about $25,000 that I potentially could pay off the credit card with that, and have a little bit left over, but then that would leave
How
me.
much is the actual credit card balance that's outstanding right now?
15.
15. Okay. So there's 25 in cash. I want to go through this. How much is in your retirement account right now? Give me like a basic, like all together.
Yep. So in the 401k, at my present job, I have about $68,000. And then I have a rollover that has about 380, depending on the market, and 115 of that is in Roth, and the other is pre-tax.
Great, that's great. Okay, so that's good. Those are two good chunks of money. That's great. Any investment account that you have? Anything that's just like fund money account or anything like that?
No.
Okay, I-bonds, CDs, anything?
I have a $10,000 CD.
And what is that? What does that represent to you? Like, is that earmarked? Is that emergency?
Yeah, it's kind of all of the above.
Security. When does it come due?
April.
I totally get what the pressure is. So now I when you first started, I'm like, how could you be feeling pressure? Everything's fine. Okay. So you should, the 25 grand, and do you feel like you're secure in your job?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. That's an important thing, part of this. My hope for you is that we want to relieve your cash flow burden. So here's what I think you should do. Number one, take 15 grand out of your cash account, okay? And pay off the credit card debt right now. Be done. Just pay it off, okay? And then you are going to put your retirement contribution back to 6%, not 12. Go back to 6%. When your CD comes due, put it in your cash account. You will now have that money. Okay? That should help your cash flow right away. Because first of all, you not only have cash flow pressure, but you also are like this credit card thing is like weighing on you. How did the credit card debt, was it like just over time? Did an event occur? How did we accumulate that?
Yeah, just over time, just, something here, little things here, little things there, some, house stuff, whatever. But
okay.
Yeah, nothing big.
I got you.
Yep.
All right. So if you were to do that, if we get rid of the credit card debt, right? Now you still, listen, there's no getting out of that $57,000 of that 6.25. But I want to be clear about one thing. If you were to sell this house right now, okay, are you sort of like, okay, the kids will be on their own and like whatever the next move is, it's just you, right?
I believe so, yes.
says
dog.
A woman who has been beaten down by out of the blue things that come up from 3 different kids. But we know at least one of them is pretty good. Do you want to stay in your area?
I think so, but I'd like to potentially look to maybe buy something down south.
As a permanent or as an addition?
it would be maybe for like half of the year, because I work from home. I can kind of work from anywhere.
Oh.
So maybe I would work, winter months down there and then back up here. So I'd like to have a place, both places.
I forgot to ask you this, but do you work in a place where you will have a pension?
I do not.
Okay. So, and what's your game plan in terms of how much more you're going to work? Because you said you're a few years from retirement, and the way I see it is you're not a few years. You're more than a few years. So what are you thinking?
I'd like to be able to say I'd make it to 65. So 9 years, I guess, is the goal.
Okay. So that's not a few. That's 3 times a few to me. Because are your kids nearby? Is that like the other piece of this, which is you want to stay in Connecticut because the 3 of them will all be there?
Yes.
Okay. And if you had to go out and buy a smaller place right now, what would that be for you? Like, what do you think that would cost you?
Connecticut's tough. It's
It's
That's
expensive. Why I'm thinking about you taking the equity and buying something south and renting in Connecticut.
Yeah, that's actually what my thought was as well.
Okay. So what would have to be down south to like buy? And I don't know what down south means to you, but like, what do you think you'd have to spend?
Maybe 300 to 2 to 3.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I know.
By the way, just because you have $385,000 of equity in this house right now. So I think it's doable that you will not own 2 places, but that if you bought down south and that was your primary, and you could rent or maybe see what happens with the kids and, where they are. And then you rent up north is much, much more doable, right?
Yeah,
because
agreed.
Then, okay. So, I mean, look, it's hard for me to gauge, like, do you have a sense of your real cash flow? It's just hard because you have 2 kids at home. So it's hard for me to figure out what your real cash flow would be. What do you think?
Yeah, I tried to do that. I tried to put something on paper, and it seems like it's between 5 and 5,500 maybe. And I know that seems high, but.
Well, it doesn't seem high if you think about your primary and your HELOC.
Right. That's about 1,500. So there's another. Yeah.
So I mean, so to me, if you said, well, really, actually, if I didn't have that, it's 4,000. That seems about right. So if it was 4,000, have you run your Social Security benefit at your full retirement age or at age 70?
I have. So
what does that look like?
At 70, it's 37.46.
Do you have the kind of job where you could keep doing it like part-time or not so much?
I do.
You do. Here's what I think. You need to get out from under this. You're so I can hear the pressure in your voice. I feel it. It's coming right through the lines. I think that you are going to relieve this pressure immediately by paying off the credit card. So that's number one. So number one, we're going to take the money from your cash account. You're going to pay off your credit card. When your CD comes due in April, you're going to leave it in cash. Don't renew it. Let's just kind of like reset for a second. Once you've paid off the credit card debt and the CD comes due in April, then at that point, you can put your contribution up to your 6% for your retirement account.
And is that going to be pre-tax or post?
I mean, I would do post-tax because you're not in a high tax bracket. So, you're in the 22%. I would stick there. I would stay there. See how that feels. Okay? I really would. I would just let yourself feel like, okay, I've got some breathing room. What you're trying to do is over the course of this year, get that money into the retirement account back up to, like you said, you get your 9% contribution, right? So they're going to put in 6 and 9. We want you to be able to put in, say, 10%. That's where I want you to be. And then I want you to try to live within your means. No credit card debt that piles up. We got to get you back on track. I swear, I know that this is all about just having kids around and stuff comes up, but I don't think that's a forever thing. I think you should start looking for a place down south and really think about that. And if you can buy something for $350, then you're golden. And that's great. And you can start to really do that. If you come back to me and say, there's no way I can do $350, it's really $550, then it's not going to happen that way. Then it's back to well, then what? Then we're going to have to figure out, do you sell in the next 4 years and then just rent somewhere and see where you are and see what the expenses would be and see what the market is. But I think if you're willing to work for 9 or 10 more years, we know your Social Security benefit will be pretty close to what your expense need is. You have saved some money, which is great. You've saved money in retirement accounts. This is all good news. But I do think that we've got to relieve the pressure right now. And that's number one. And the way to do that, pay off the credit card debt. Make sure that CD rolls into your cash account. So you'll once again, you're going to have 20 grand in there. It'll be good, right? And that's your money. It's your safety net. Make sure that you get slowly but surely get money into that retirement account, get to a 10% level, live within your means, and let's start looking for a place down south. How's that sound?
It sounds doable. I was concerned. I was concerned that the percentage that I was contributing to the 401k was not enough. I was trying to forecast. It
probably isn't, but so what? I need to get you out from underneath this. We need to I'll tell you what, if we get you out from underneath the credit card debt and you start to just kind of breathe a little bit and you really start to say, what can I put into this? That's when you start to knock it up a little bit. And so you say, all right, I'm at 6%. Then 3 months later, go to 8%. Then 3 months later, go to 10%. And let's see how your cash flow is. It's more important, frankly, that I get your cash flow right than your retirement contributions right. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, makes sense.
Right? Now, do you have your estate documents done?
It's something that I need to update.
All right.
Now that
I hope you don't have
everybody's
an ex that's still the beneficiary of everything.
No, we changed that.
Good. Okay. And old life insurance kicking around? Anything out there?
I do have one that's going to be, I think the termination is sometime this year, so I probably won't renew that.
Definitely don't. Anything else on your end that I can help you with?
No, I don't think so. Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable with what I'm doing.
Keep breathing. Let's get this debt paid off and go from there. And we're here for you if you need us. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
So once we get that debt paid off and April comes around and file your taxes and get your retirement account up to 6%, then we'll have the second phase of this. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. If you are kind of feeling that burden and you need some setting of your expectations or resetting of your expectations, just give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and we will get your note. We always, always, always encourage you to give us more information rather than less, especially if it's just going to be an email. Will help us out a little bit. I know it's the day after Valentine's Day, but you know what? You didn't use up all those good wishes and that love. Do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.